Good morning everybody. It's a chilly Saturday in February and it's quite cold in here, I don't know if you can see my breath, but welcome back to the potting shed. This morning, because it's the weekend, I've decided I'm going to sow some carrots in containers, so I'm going to share this with you. Hopefully some of you will have a go. And the carrots that I've chosen are Amsterdam 2 Sweetheart. Okay, there's the packet. It says you can sow from February through to June and harvest May through to September, early cropping and virtually coreless. So that's what I'm going to be sowing. I've got the container ready outside. I've rescued the container because it was going to get thrown away. And what I've done is I've placed it on some bricks to lift it off the floor a little bit. Now the main pest for carrots is carrot root fly, and the best way to avoid carrot root fly burrowing, the larvae burrowing into your carrots, is to lift it up off the ground. The container's higher than 30 centimetres, but I've put the container on some bricks, which you'll see in a minute, which will just lift it up a little bit more. I'm also going to cover it with some horticultural fleece on the top until the seeds germinate, and this will give an added layer of protection from carrot root fly and also slugs, which like to nibble on your seedlings. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this video. I'm going to talk you through the steps. It's pretty straightforward. And the first thing I'm going to do is get ready with the soil mix. So I'll talk you through it. Hope you have a go. Enjoy. Right, so the three ingredients I'm going to use. The three ingredients I'm going to use are compost, just general purpose. Make sure there's no lumps in it, so break them up. And I know that it makes a lot of noise when I'm tipping things in, so I'll just talk in between the tips. So yeah, break your lumps up. And I'm doing this in my washing basket, so I'll give this a rinse out after. Also perlite. And some sand. Carrots like a really free draining soil, so we're not making a cacti mix because that has grit and gravel in. Carrots need a free draining soil without any stones or grit. Okay. I've got loads of perlite, that's why I'm adding some, and that'll just help to keep a bit of air in the soil and keep the soil open. The sand will help it to drain. And I'm sure some of you are wondering why I'm not doing this in the container outside directly, or bringing the container in here. If I had the container in here, it would be quite heavy once full to move to the position that it's going in. So I'm going to do it in my wash basket. I've got handles on it. I can carry it across and fill up the container. It's a fairly decent sized container, so I'm going to do a good mix. I'm just adding a bit more general purpose compost. Really get your hands in there, work it around. These trugs are fantastic for mixing your compost and stuff. There's lots of reasons to grow your own carrots. They taste so much better than shop bought ones. And you can come in a variety of colours, not just your standard orange, but you can get purple, yellow, white. I'm just growing orange ones because my daughters like carrots and hummus as a bit of a treat when they're over. So It's much better than eating crisps and sweets all the time. So there's a stone, we don't want that. Put that to one side. I'm going our cacti mix at some point. Okay, so we have got a fairly free draining mix there. This isn't going to fill up the container, but you get the gist. Perlite, because I've got loads of it, I'm using a bit up to open the soil up and help it to drain. Sand also to help it to drain and to lighten the soil, and then just general purpose compost with no lumps in it. Make sure there's no stones or anything like that, and you should have a nice free draining mix. Because carrots have got a tap root, they'll go straight down. If they start hitting stones, that's when they're going to fork and you're going to get misshapen carrots. Okay, so there's your mix. 3 ingredients. Okay, so the container is filled. It's level, as you can see, well, fairly level with the bricks against the house. The position of the container is on a south-facing wall because the carrots like a lot of light. And underneath, if I just show you, the container is on bricks to level it, because we don't want the water running to the lowest point, and also to let the air around it and let the container drain. We have had a lot of rain recently, so I want it off the floor. All I'm going to do is use my little striking off board to just level it as best I can. It's a big container. Normally in a smaller container I would tap it 3 times to settle the compost, but I'm going to use my presser board just to firm it down a bit. If I start tapping this big container, it's liable to break. Okay, there you go, not looking too bad. Going back to my little striking board, I'm going to put 2 furrows, just using the edge of the striking board to make 2 little gullies, probably about 6 inches apart. There we go. As you can see those very well, but there's 2 lines running down. And then all I'm going to do is sow my seeds into that. Okay, so I've got my carrot seeds, and I'm just going to start one end, and we're going to sow these as thinly as possible. Okay, so same procedure, that finger and thumb, that one on top, just a gentle tap. Apologies for the traffic noise, there's not a lot I can do about that. Okay, they're not as thin as I would like these, but what I'll do is when they start to germinate, I will thin out the seedlings. Germination will take probably about a month. Okay, I've still got some seeds left in there, so just fold your packet up so we don't waste them. I might do some in some just normal pots as well, some deep pots. So they're in now. And all I'm going to do is use the striking board again, and I'm just going to cover those furrows up and give it a little tap down. A little presser board and a little striking board are such useful pieces of kit in the garden. So I highly recommend getting yourself a little piece of wood and a little piece of wood with a handle on to press down. This one's got perspex, but you could make it out of wood quite easily. Okay, we are now sown. I'm going to get a watering can and give these a drink. Okay, so we've got our label in. And start watering at the edge, get a good flow on, and then just move across. Give these a good drink. Now carrots are drought resistant, so we don't need to give them loads and loads of water regularly, but just to start them off, and then stop at the edge. Just to start them off, give them a good drink, and then you can actually see where the furrows are. And what we're going to do now is look out for seedlings starting to sprout. which will take just under a month. So yeah, south facing wall, light soil, sunny spot, and lift it off the ground a bit so the carrot fruit fly don't attack your crops. And I'm going to put some fleece on next, just to protect it from slugs, and also raise the temperature a little bit to aid germination. So there you go, everybody. The horticultural fleece is now on the top. I've just put a couple of pieces of wood to weight it down, just to hold it on. If it's really windy, it's probably better to take the fleece off. But yeah, the carrots have been sown, they've been watered, they're now covered up to protect them from carrot root fly and also pesky slugs. You're looking at about a month roughly for these to germinate, and then what we'll do then is start to thin them out, and I'll do another video on that. But that's it, sowing carrots in containers. If you've got kids that absolutely love growing their own carrots, and you don't have to do it in a big container like this, you could do it in a deep pot, round pot, square pot, doesn't matter, but a nice deep pot so that the tap root of the carrot can get down. Nice light soil mix, sunny position, jobs are good. And anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this little video, and we'll come back and check on these in a month's time, see if we've started to get some seedlings. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing and sharing. And I hope the traffic noise hasn't spoilt the video too much. Alright, bye from the potting shed.